Hi guys, welcome back. This is the Heart and Soul spread. I am doing the Heart and Soul of Janis Joplin, as you can see down there. So I have got my dowsing. This is a good start, isn't it? I have got my dowsing thing. Right. So we can ask some questions as well. Whether we'll use it or not is I'm gonna use it in the beginning anyway. Right. I first kind of knew, not no knew, but my first kind of experience of Janis Joplin, I didn't I didn't realize who she was, and I didn't realize that she sang some familiar songs than I was aware of. So, but I went this year to the cinema and I watched A Night with Janis Joplin, which told the story of Janis, and kind of mixed soul music of the inspiration that she had. So it kind of the vibe kind of reminds me of Amy Winehouse. I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the the program, but of course she's in the 27 Club too, right? I don't know. So Janis Joplin, right? So let me just get me notes because I can't keep it all together. So Janis Joplin was born January the 19th, 1943, and sadly died 4th of 4th of October 1970. Right. Her music is like soul blues, psychedelic rock. Psychedelic rock. I think I said that right. Blues rock. Her famous songs and cover songs were "Piece of My Heart," which is a classic song, "Me and Bobby," "Summertime," and her own song, which was Mr. Mercedes Benz. Now, I would imagine there's a number of songs. Like I said, I'm not familiar with her music. I gotta be like honest there. Mercedes Benz was her last song before she passed away, unfortunately. I am gonna look into because there is some conspiracies around her passing as well. So I think I'm gonna do a separate video, and what I've information I did get is it was intriguing. But I thought first and foremost, let's do the heart and soul of Janis in as a lady, in that time. I mean, she wasn't one to be played with. So, from the custom for like the interviews I've watched, and she seemed quite a fiery person. Um, but I want to bring the tarot perspective, and of course, I'm doing the Joy Secret Tarot, which is one of remember the Joy Secret Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks to do with the heart and soul. Okay, seems to be dedicated to this this thing. So, but I don't know, guys. I don't know if I want to do a lot because I've got a long-winded one, like which I done with Amy Winehouse, or if I want to do a short version because I'm doing conspiracy theories around her passing. So I don't know. But then at the same breath, I'm gonna look into Amy's passing as well. So I'm like, I'm in two minds. So I thought, let's ask the crystal. Now, I'm sort of like in because when I look at the back of it, I can see that my hand is shaking in that. So this is all allegedly entertainment purposes only. Take what take what resonates. Hopefully, we can get to the heart and soul of Janis Joplin and her message that she was trying to give to the world with her music and stuff. I mean, lyrics would speak profoundly anyway, but and maybe we can take some of that into our lives and put our passions into it. So right, okay, so I would like to dedicate this spread for Janis Joplin. Would you help me with clarifying questions throughout the readings. That's showing a yes. Okay. Where we can dive deep into Janis's Jocelyn's rephrase. A rephrase. So I think what I'm going to do, I have got some oracle decks that I've previously used before. So what I think I'm going to do is like check some tarot down and then maybe see if we can get like a yes or no, maybe on where I'm fitting at, and then go from there. What do you think? Well, let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you think this is gonna. Well, if you think this is a good way of doing it, right? So I've got the long version or the short. I think we're gonna do a short version. I feel like I do want to, because I don't, not that, because that's the wrong way, because you're meant to use tarot, but I would say her music was quite powerful for me, but I'm not really accustomed to it. So I mean, is that class as cheating? I don't know. What do you think? Let's just see. Right, so we're going to look into the heart of Janis Joplin. We're going to look into the heart of Janis Joplin. I can feel spirit around me. Right, I get like vibes around my head, around my back, around my hair, so like tingles. So I can feel a heaviness and tingles around me. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a voice that comes through? That'd be really cool. Right, so anyway, let's have a look at the heart of Janis Joplin, right? The heart of Janis Joplin. The heart of Janis Joplin. What can you tell me around the heart? Six of Pentacles. She was a giver. She gave fully when her heart fully, right? So I wouldn't say like a people pleaser, but she just if she got it, you can have it. She could, she didn't hold anything back. Okay, she was very intensive in her relationships. I feel in all her relationships, whether that's with family, with she kind of like, you're in it. If you're in a relationship, you got to be in it, so she was very when you were in her company, she would give her time, her emotions, her everything when you were in your company. But the opposite side of it, of the Ten of Swords, is I think Janis could go into a bit of a dark place too. And I think because she had a deep side of her, I think she can jump, her mood can jump from really giving to really absorbing. So I think she'd done a lot of reflection, where we mistakenly we trying to sort of, like, when someone's trying to have an open hearted conversation with her, she would be reflecting on stuff that's happened to her to understand the other person. So it could come across as she was like taking over the conversation. So she was a power force in herself, but I think her intentions was sincere. She was on about giving and acceptance. So I feel like, with her, she wanted to have that emotional acceptance. There was this other dark side to her, the Ten of Swords, which she could cut people quite quickly off if so you would get the full Monty, and then she could quite cut you quite quickly if necessary. So there was there was no middle ground with Janis. That's how I feel. There was no middle ground. She was either giving or she give nothing. You know, that was the other aspect that I seen with her. I'm gonna dive into the deep side. So right, I gotta find the spread. So that's like when she gived all. That's the impression of her personality. Doing something a little bit different. Right, there and how right, okay, so their personal experiences, their personal experiences around emotions, which would be interesting. There you go. She would I do feel she was a giver, and she would work hard on in relationships necessarily, you know? Um she was all about fun. She was all about fun. She wanted to take care. She was like a mother. I feel like she was like a she could be quite mothering. And she wanted to take care of everything, okay? But she wanted to have some fun. So she was very spontaneous, I would say, with it. But you know, she her heart her heart was in it, you know, not necessary to win it, but just to, you know, she was willing to put the hard work in her personal life, you know. um that was, you know, that's how her what I see in her value, that she would put the effort in there. Okay, how did they see things? 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 The hermit. They can. Remember when I was saying to you, I feel like she would go internally. This is the hermit card. So she would she wasn't easily, I wouldn't say she was easily influenced by outsiders. I would say she would question things within first. And that's why I said to you, she would, when you have these open conversations with her, she would do a lot of reflection. And maybe that's what come out in her writing. Did she do poetry too? I don't know. Because she seems quite a deep lady, you know, quite in depth, full deep, yeah? King of Pentacles. She had a strong character about her. Okay, so she had like she was very in touch with her male masculine energy, right? Because we got the King of Pentacles. So this is how she viewed things. So she had a very strong presence, and she would, you know, she would show that, okay, intensively. She was a fire horse to be reckoned for. You've got, right, it's like, wow, the Hermit card, how they seen things. The King of Pentacles and the Chariot. If you want something, go and get it. Don't talk about it. Reflect on it. Give yourself time. Give yourself time. Getting, right? But take that power, you know, and you want it, go for it. I'll back you up. I'll back you up. I'll back you up. I'll support you. You go for it. So how she viewed things was she was a go-getter, right? Now we're going to ask. Was Janis Joplin a go-getter? Oh, wait, hang on. Let me just... Was Janis Joplin a go-getter? That's a yes. It keeps firing back into rephrase. Yes, rephrase. So there was a bit more going on there. But was there a bit more than just a go-getting? Yeah. Was Janis Joplin in touch with her masculine energy? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, we're touching it on so far. If you know about Janice, and please comment below, because this is just a tarot reading, like a reflection. I'm learning as I go along. When I'm doing all these celebrates and people that's passed, and in memory of them, yeah. But I'm not saying that I know everything, so it's all allegedly, but you know. What motivated them? So what motivated them? So what did motivate them? Seven of Cups. It's emotions. It's around emotions. They wanted. It's like I want freedom. I want freedom to not having have to choose everything all the time. Once I make a final destination decision, I don't want to be trapped in fear. I want to break free from the fear that holds me back. So it's like an escapism. I mean, we'll touch on that a bit later when we're going to look into the music side of it all. She liked. I would. I'd say she liked structure. She liked to have structure. She liked to have new experiences. She didn't like the mundane thing. So this is where I say about the spontaneous thing here. So she liked to break free from the plain lifestyle. She got enjoyment out of it. It sort of kind of touched into her inner child aspect. Okay. What lifted them? What lifted their spirits? What lifted them emotionally? What lifted them emotionally? Oh, the Lover's card. The commitment. Once she finalized something, or she had her head set on something, that's it. She was committed to it, and she got inspired by that. Also connections. It could also represent connections, the bonds that she built along her journey. It's almost like she was everybody's friend, everybody's mother, everybody. She was just a strong presence. I do get the vibe that she was hard work sometimes to be around, because she could be really like full on, but her demeanor, her heart, and how she viewed things, or how she felt things and stuff is kind of like giving me that, like, she was very passionate, very passionate woman. That's how I view it. I'm gonna do for the one card, the Whisperers of Love, because I feel she's quite tuned into her emotions at times when it comes to relationships and that. So let's see what. Oh my god, that one fell out, so we're gonna have that one, and we're gonna have that one. Splash it out, why not? Right. Demonstrating love. Find out what is important to those you love and act on it. So she loved the deep conversation. She loved deep conversations and reflection. And she's seen life as a gift. So whatever was given to her, she's seen it as a gift. And she tried to explore that with others as well. Miracles and blessings, everything is a gift. Interesting. All right, I'm going to pause it and I'll be back because this is going to be section 2, which is outside influences. All right, I'll be back. Right, are we back? Yeah. This is a new setup, so it's like... Right, okay, so we're going to do section 2 is outside influences. Timestamp. Oh, already like 20 minutes in, 24. Wow, okay. It goes so good. Long ass. I'll put the timestamps on there, guys, so don't worry. Right, section 2, outside influences. We're going to look into fame. So how outside influences. So I'm going to go Janis, the outside influences, and then we're going to put something in the middle. I don't know what yet. Right. Okay, Janis. How did the outside influences... I'm not taking that one. How did the outside influence of her fame affect Janis overall? Okay. And how was others affected? You know, outside, what deeper meaning on the outside influences? How did it affect? So who... Oh, I don't know. Outside influences. Outside influences. 2 of Wands. Her, it kind of give her a sense of stability here with her fame. Money. It sort of it helped with a few things of security. I think it helped with her confidence as well. She felt a bit more confident. And I think it was truly to be because she was being recognized there. So it was almost like she bloomed, you know, she bloomed there, as you can see the flower like out. So she kind of bloomed into it. So it was kind of a natural thing for her. It was just a natural, she had a natural presence on stage, on, you know, in her life. The 2 of Wands, that I feel like she was still looking for something else. So I do wonder if Janis was still alive, would she have changed her way of making music? Would there been some... because there was, to me, it feels like I've learned, I've come that close, but I'm looking... there's something more I want to give. There's something more I want to show the world. I want to do. So I feel like the influence, I think she was still finding inspiration to change the dynamics within your music, which is interesting because I had that with Jim too, and Amy, in all fairness. Like, maybe we go through a cycle. I mean, I know as a tarot reader, you know, you can't remain in the same... I was doing the same videos over and over again. I had to change the dynamics to get out of this comfort zone. Was it that Janis was feeling the same? Was it? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Was Janis feeling like she wanted to make a change, or she was looking for change for the future? So I feel with Janis, this was still very new. It was still very new to her. So she was just blooming as well. Not so much her singing, I mean just the experience in itself. Okay, so she's still finding her feet. Look, ideas. She was still finding her feet, and she was still creating new ideas. Unfortunately, something got the better of her. But I think she was enjoying she was enjoying parts of this fame, but there was also disturbance going on. So something was going on inward. So from the outer world, I think she was showing completely different to how she was feeling inside. But there was some element of inspiration. And I do feel that she wanted to change the groundwork she was working on and stuff. But I think because she was still blooming, she was still finding her feet. And she was young. 27 is young, isn't it? You know, we at the age when we're 27, we don't feel young, but you know, when we get to my age, you think, oh my god, you know, how young was I? I look at my son and I think, oh my god, they were, you know, my son's like 28. They're close to to these people that's passed away, and it's just like it's so sad, you know. It's so sad to sort of see um things like this happen in the world, you know, when they've got the whole world and the whole world is their oyster type of thing. Yeah. So I'm gonna put that there as we're gonna connect that in there. All right, friends. So friends, how let's see if I can see if it what it says about friends on her side, how she viewed friends. The Tower. She felt she was losing, she lost a lot of friendships. So I feel like it's almost like we've got the beginning, like how she was expressing and all that lot and how she was given, but actually she felt like there was a deception going on around her friendships and like real massive endings this happened, destruction around her friendships. I mean, that kind of like, oh, which was quite painful for her. All right. How did her friends view her? The Moon. They viewed her as independent. They viewed her as independent, but I think they were confused with her motives and how she was no, I want that one. I think they were confused by her motives at times, but they did see her very independent. So she had a very different view case. So I think she had this procedure of like who she was, but actually internally there was a lot of she was not as trusted. So maybe this is where the isolation came in, the disruption, the overindulgence, you know, the pleasing, wanting to please, wanting to divine intervention, time for reflection. I think she lost connections. She lost the deep integration of friendships. There was very few. She knew a lot of people. It was like one of those, I know a lot of people, but I haven't got that strong essence of friendship that I fully feel safe with. That's the feel of it. Okay, family. Family. Like I said, this is all allegedly entertainment purpose only, you know, 5 of Cups. There was a loss around her family too. Maybe just that makes me sad. Because family is so important. How the family's seen it. Six of Cups. Uh, I feel like the family struggled with reaching out to Janice. I see that Janice started losing her roots, losing who she was, which would represent with like the drug addiction, wouldn't it? You know, if you brought the drug addiction is, but the Five of Cups is about a loss. So I think she started to sort of really lose parts of herself when it comes to the influences outside. They family wanted her to remember her roots and where she came from, and um what she thrived for. I feel I feel this is, this is how I feel, that she, that she was they could see she was deteriorating and she was losing herself. It was fast road. It was a fast road. Yeah, Six of Cups, they want to bring back the past. They wanted to bring back something from the past, but a good memory, a memory aspect. But Janice was lost. She wanted to travel and gain new experiences, which would represent. But the family were concerned. There was already telltale signs. I mean, your family knows you, don't you? Your close friendships and your family, they know you full well. So you can pretend all you like, or but they can see it inside of you, your voices and how your voice changes, and we just know. A mother's intuition. I don't know if her mum was around at the time, but family intuition, we just know. But Janet's like, no, I'm fine, I'm all good, everything's great, everything is amazing, everything is really fabulous. Where I'm like, oh, I'm on the road, I'm on like that. But really and truly, she was losing herself. So it's interesting, like, from the beginning of the fame, so she's like this one aspect, but then we've got another aspect. Let's have a look at social media, because I know social media, well, not social, because it wasn't social media then, but like newspapers, the media side of it can have a massive impact on your life. I don't know how these guys do it. I really don't. I admire, you would have to be, you got to have a strong, thick skin to deal with what you've got, the pressures and the expectations that people have on you. Because we're all human at the end of the day, but you've got to have these expectations. So, you know, media can be a good thing, but it can also be a really bad thing. And it can have a real problem with the physique, Right. Media for her. She was happy with the media, how things was going, how things, so she was enjoying life, how the media viewed her. Two of Swords. There's two sides to the coin with this, which is really quite ironic, isn't it? If you think of media, like, you got two sides. You got like the one side, newspapers, isn't it? If there's trauma, drama, whatever, they put that in the papers. But then they also got the other side, So they were also seeing there's a flip side going on. She was in her moment. She was in her moment. She was in her field. Here with the Six of Pentacles. So she was willing to give that part of herself to them, to the media. Yeah. So she tried to put a positive spin on things here. Okay. Interesting, isn't it? Right. Ghosted, disappeared. Ooh. is that perceive, like everything, like she was saying to her family, everything is rosy, everything is good. But people that's had experiences or like dealt with the famous and like they can see the cracks, can't they? Ghosted and disappeared. What does that necessarily mean? Because that's like kind of in the middle of all. That's too many cards. I only wanted one. Four of Pentacles. Reserve. Did Janis give too much? Or was she reserving? Or was it her perceiver wasn't, she obviously I've seen like on YouTube different interviews and stuff, although I haven't watched all of them, so I'm going in blinded a little bit here. And I can't take information in. I'm sorry. It's like, yeah, I don't know if that's part of the dyslexia or whatever, but yeah, I don't stick. But four pentacles is about reserving energy. And we're looking at the ghosting here. We're looking at the ghosted and disappearance. That is like pulling back. So was maybe and that was caught in the middle. So she wasn't in, I wouldn't say she was in the media, she drawed immediate attention, although people were curious of her and they were watching her. We got the Two of Swords. So were they waiting for that flip to go? I don't know. Let me know down below your thoughts on that one. But Four of Pentacles is about reserving ourselves. And we've got like the ghost disappearance. So maybe take it and leave it attitude. So she was flamboyant when she was in front of the camera, but she could quite easily disappear. Maybe. Okay, love life. Let's look at the love life. Love life. Right. For Janis, her love life. Ten of Wands. Too much hard work. That's why I got my head shaking now. I shouldn't laugh. But it's like, too much hard work. Too much hard work. I can't cope with this. It's too much hard work. Right. Alright, I'm going to put one in the middle. I'm going to actually do the rest of it. Tell me more about the Ten of Swords onwards. I'm going to do completely different. There's other options. There's other options. There's other options. King of Wands. There was one particular person that she did have a connection with. He could be a fire sign, someone who's fire. He had a passionate side to him. I'm seeing guitar. I'm seeing that he could co-work writing music as well. He had that. There was an inspiration with him on that aspect, right? But overall, she found love life hard work. Tell me more about the King of Wands. So I would need to know more about the King of Wands. Let's put that up here, and we're going to put here. Tell me more about the King of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. It's like building up. Work ethic. There was definitely a love interest in this person, with this guy. There was one particular. This person, I feel, grounded Janis, who could ground her more than anybody else. And I know she's flighty now, but she potentially she could have they could have built something. She believed they could have built something together. But she found the whole thing hard work there. With the magician card, it's like there's other options. There's other options. Now I don't know if that means other options, other lovers. I don't feel it is that. I feel like there's other ways of dealing with this or working things out. That's the impression I get. Now I know that there was one Pacific guy, and I think she did write a song about him. So I know that aspect of it. Okay. So their relationship, their connection and relationship. There's not much. There's not much like love cards here. Like apart from the lovers card we got, illustrating that. But there was a strong presence when they were around each other. He could influence her to a certain extent, more than others, I believe so. Okay. Hoity-toity, champagne, taste beer, and budget, arrogant pretense. Was this person a bit of a hoity-toity? The truth is that you simply don't feel fulfilled. Is it worth the wait to find true happiness? There was a debate going on with these two. Self-righteous, acts a spiritual superior, condescending, and preachy. There was, on the shadow aspects of it. Now, I'm not pointing fingers on who this is, but there was a debate, and someone was saying that there's more that could be given to this, but you're so in your ass, you're so up your ass, with it. This is again, right? Sorry for the colourful language. You're so up your ass with things, you ain't seeing the full potential. You ain't seen the full potential what this could lead to. Now, I don't know if that is that person. I can't see Janis Joplin as hoity-toity, I can't. So what's this hoity-toity? And we all got our shadow sides, and our arrogant side, and then we've all got our like loving, So there's always two sides to us. So I'm not, like I said, not making Queen of Pentacles. Someone wanted to move on. I can't see Jana saying it's all about the money. I don't feel that with her. But this energy I'm getting is like money is taking over actually what is important. So they're going to move on regardless. I could be wrong. I mean, there's always that case of like I've misinterpreted the cards, but we got the Queen of Pentacles. That's someone they've got money, they're secure, yeah, they're looking at the good life, yeah. The Eight of Wands is like the movement. There's movement and developments going on here, which is governed by money and choices. So they're juggling here, yeah. So is it that they were leading two separate lives at the time, and work was kind of taking over that part of them, and that kind of like led to these debates and arguments? Because the government of the relationship wasn't down to emotions. It was down to commitments with the Lover's card. Let me know your thoughts on that, or if you recognize who this person is. I'll be interested to know. Okay. So we're going to go into, so we've looked in the love life and that. So in the next section, we're going to look into the demons side of them. Now, demons, I really need to change the description of that. But this would be their fears. What holds them back? What held them back? What darkened them? I'm going to do the mirror, the dark mirror deck with this to see. So I'll be back in a minute. So I haven't even changed the I've left the cards there because we've got plenty. So, but I need to take a swig of drink. I need to cleanse my deck. We're going to give it a knock. Give it a swirl. So, what was their fears? What did the fears they have? Okay, we'll look at the first one. I don't know what that comes from. Right, revenge. They were worried about repercussions. So I wonder if Janis used to say things, the spirit, or react and respond to things out of pure pressure or just like in anger, and then it's like, oh, it's a bit like those drunken texts, isn't it? Oh God, I shouldn't have done that. What am I gonna do? And she was worried about those repercussions there. But it's almost like she won't back down either. So she had it in her mind. If you like push the boundary, push the boundaries with her, she didn't sit back lightly. Yeah. I think her fear was herself. I think she feared herself and what she would, what her capability would be. So I feel she really pushed. Yeah, especially if she was put in a corner, she would fight back. But we know, there's things on there we know about, like she bottled Jim Morrison, and she had her, like, she felt like they were being disrespectful. But I think she often feared what she potentially, if she could balance that. I think she'd just seen red and she would just fire. Yeah. So yeah, I think she was worried about the repercussions. That's how I see it, right? Interesting. So what held them back? What held them back? So for me, this is fated to suffer. So the temptations. It was the temptations. So I would say it would be if you look, we're looking at Snow White and the witch, giving her the apple. So the addictions she had set her back to what actually she wanted in life, which is quite common for someone who's got addictions. So her tongue, her tongue. I would say Janis is she was a truth teller. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind, and this is where we're worried on that one. But she came out empty-handed because of it, and that's quite common. That is quite common. Yeah. It become her demise. Oh, bless her. It's a coping mechanism, isn't it? We all find ways to cope, and this was her coping mechanism. It's quite heartbreaking, really, isn't it, when you sort of like look at it like that? How how impactful it can change a person and cause so much grief and pain, with the Three of Swords. It's not easy. Not easy. It's not like cut and dry as people seem to think, you know? But we find ways. We find resources, we find ways. Whether you like work, you work to avoid what's going on at home, or you eat cake like me. I used to overindulge in alcohol and drugs, so it was it was to fit in, but also it was that coping mechanism. It first of all, it's all fun. It's all fun. It's all like an enjoyment. Yeah, right. Let's be honest. We're in the moment. We're having fun. We're around people. We feel connected. We're just having a laugh, etc. But then it becomes a dependent. So it's our way. We find a way to release our stresses. And I feel this is what happened. It was a fun thing at first, but then as time went on, it become more of a codependent. Not necessarily on the drug, although I know it's an addiction anyway, but more of the case of like taking ourselves away from any stresses, our thoughts. Think of the swords. The swords is all about thoughts, um, communication and stuff. And if we're in our mind, if we're battling in our mind, we want to block it out, and we find things, a way to block that, that we're not feeling enough, we're not feeling good, we haven't got enough. So we find a way which causes more pain in the long run. It affects all our relationships, it affects our way of thinking, and it's a hard road to get out. It's not like you got to go through all those emotions, the guilt, and it's just like it's messed up. It's messed up. It's messed up. Um, so I feel that that's what held them back. There, and I mean, I've got what darkened them, but to be honest, I think that would that would be the case here too. I would say this would have darkened them. I've got like a heavy head now, like a headache, which like the heaviness of this. So I think that's what darkened them as well, and it's the guilt. It's the guilt, the feel of like, I'm not enough. I'm fated to suffer. I'm fated to suffer. You start believing that you're not worthy of anything, that you're a loser, you're this, you're that, blah, 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 all that crap you say in your head. So you find a way of trying to get out of it. I tell you, it blows your mind. There. Right. Moving on to that. So it's like, ugh. Right. So we're going to go into the soul music. right? Now she was inspired by a lot of people. I ain't gonna go in because I have wrote it down, but she was inspired. And the night of Janis Joplin, if you get a chance to watch it, watch it. I gotta find my mouse, right? It was really awesome. So this was directed by Randy Johnson, Um, so it's A Night with Janis Joplin. It's a musical that includes works singer-songwriter Janis Joplin, 1943 to 1970. I'm looking, just saying about. So I've put information in the description box, but this kind of tells her the life of Janis Joplin and who she was. What like kind of inspired her to with her music and stuff. Um, 'Cause she started leading to rock, but I think it was blues that she was drawn to the most. Um, yeah, yeah, it's not giving much information, I'm afraid. In the Right, so music influences Betsy Smith, Nina Simon. I probably pronounced that wrong. Elton James and Aretha Franklin. She was very much inspired with. So it does tell the characters, etc. It was a great movie. They've done it really well. And I would love to see like the Whitney Houston done like this. That would be amazing. And Amy, all of them really. That would how they worked it and played it. I think it was a great tribute to Janis Joplin. That's my intake on it. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, we're gonna get back to the reading. Sorry. Do this. Right. So we're gonna look into the soul music and see what I can pick up from the soul music. I'm just doing a time stamp. So just do that. Right. Okay. Soul music. Soul music. So can you tell me what drew them to music? I know we know the background of it, but in Janis Joplin's eyes, what drew her to the music the most? Ace of Cups. Oh. She loved the challenge. She loved the challenge of it. She felt really inspired by it with the Knight of Wands. So it's almost like I can express myself and without get I'm able to express myself through my music. Ace of Cups, it was the love she had for the music, or was that like, I know there was the family background there as well, that there was some family thing, but we got the Ace of Cups. So I think it filled her up. And I know what she's saying in that sense. Like, I'm not a singer or anything like that, but I love music. I love it. Motivates you. It makes you feel good. It's just you know it can explain so much in your situation. The trivials that we go through, and the battles that we go. I think she got drawn to it because of the expression she could create with the music. That's how I would interpret the Ace of Cups, the Five of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. Ace of Cups is like a love card, but it's like the cup is overflowing, the emotions. If we're looking at relationships, the start of it is like the start of the beginning, that she was already thriving in the music already. Five of Wands can represent like the struggles, the internal struggles. It can sometimes represent Five of Wands. It can represent like mirror imaging, so like the reflection. So like power struggles. So she enjoyed listening to the power struggles of it, and maybe how it inspires to get through it. Maybe it was like about the upliftment as well, because we've got the Knight of Wands. Now this is a risk taker, someone taking the risks about life. So although we've got these internal struggles going on, and I don't know if she was very in a romantic music. She loved the romantic side of the music as well, maybe because of the Ace of Cups. But it kind of inspired her to take take some risks, you know, and be a go getter in life. And it that's why I feel like with with the how she viewed, and what drew her to the music. Yeah. I already stated what they enjoyed the most about the music. That's already come through. Passions they wanted to create. I would imagine it would be the same as what I've got here. The passions that they wanted to create. Two of Cups. Building connections together and encouraging people to push ahead, taking the reins in their life. Okay. She wanted to bring a message of spiritual. I don't know if Janis was spiritual, but she wants to bring a message. Got the Hierophant card. Hierophant card is about a spiritual leaders, people that you would go to for advice and that. So that's what she wanted to create. She wanted to create an expression in her music to give you the courage to move on. So she had a lot of feeling when it comes to her, and she was a soul. I listened to some of her music, and it is so powerful. Her voice and everything, and how she come across, and her perceiver and her presence on stage. But the Chariot is taking those reins. We've got this. We can do this. We can move forward there. So she wanted to bring a strong connection of a powerful voice in her music, like that passionate aspect. Yeah. And I would say that would be the message that she was trying to get across too. So I've already done that one. Her soul contract. So we're going to look into her soul contract. Soul contract. And I got another soul contract. King of Swords, Justice, Knight of Swords. She was trying to bring balance into the world. Her soul contract was on about balancing something in the world. We've got the Justice, doing things the right way. That's a power. That reminds me of the Strength card. Yeah, doing things in the right order, the right way. So leadership. It was like to be a leader. Knight of Swords, a wrecking ball. That's what comes to that song. A wrecking ball. So her sole contract, I feel, was to bring a force to be reckoned for, and I feel that's what Janis was, a force to be reckoned for. So King of Swords. Right, we go. Builder, constructor, R-type, carpet. Well, we forget that. Construction. So building, putting construction into her music, laying the foundations of her music. So this was her soul contract. The Balance card, the Justice card. Right. Oh, right. This is about trauma. So it says child trauma, abuse, abandoned, orphaned. well, we know that she's not. She had her family around her. But it's all about the injustice that happens in life, and the trauma that we go through, and the abandonment. And we can learn a great deal from these people that's passed away. The Knight of Swords. I would see that as the overindulgence, gluttony, diet, nutrition, fasting, deprivation. I would say if we're looking at it as like what her soul contract was, it was about. I wouldn't say Janis was greedy, but I feel like because of her addictions and stuff like that, how that could really have an impact on our lives. She was there to teach us about balancing our trauma, trying to build constructure in our not relationships, well, relationships, work ethic, and that, and being mindful of what we put into our bodies. So she was like she was an influencer, so she could be a strong influencer on that. So what can we learn from this experience? What can we learn from this experience in our lives? Because it's the Sun card, the Empress card, the Seven of Cups. To me, it's about building that strong foundation of, again, your self-worth, knowing your worth, knowing what you can bring to people, bring to yourself. The Sun card is a positive card, is about being a positive influence. The Empress card is about producing, making things, producing in life. Seven of Cups is like taking away that confusion of who you are, what you represent in your life. It's like trying to get a strong foundation. Yeah. Ten of Pentacles is like building that security. Now, I'm not saying financial security. I mean foundational security within ourselves. Yeah. Right. So your core values, your core beliefs, so we can't get affected by the reality, the worldly things, the physical, which is the Ten of Pentacles, like the physical aspects, yeah, the foundations of things, yeah. Any kind of last words from Janis Joplin? Is there anything she would like to put into it from a tarot perspective? Nine of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. Do not let your mind take over so much that it causes so much stress. Yeah. Build that foundation. Get cunning in what you want. Yeah. Don't hold yourself back. Nine of Swords is like that fear. Don't let your fears get in the way. Build on something and create it. It can be yours. Seven of Course can be deceptional, but I don't feel she means it in that, be deceptional, be deceiving, meaning just be diplomatic. Try not to get into the mentality and the mental side of our brain where we feel we can't put, and can't put the effort in. So put the effort into it. We got 2 7s. So me is like grabbing what you want in life. Yeah. Yeah, the high priestess. Going with what your heart desires, what is pulling you, what is your soul saying to you, what is it trying to tell you, what is it you're trying to build on and work towards. Yeah. Don't let fear get in the way of affecting you. I allowed fear to get in the way at times when I could have built something so much more stronger. So much stronger and so much more emotional fulfilling. She was more on the emotional fulfilling side of it, of life. I'm going to leave that with you. I hope you enjoyed the reading just as much as I did. If you did, check the playlist in the description of other heart and soul I've done. And I will see you soon. Thank you for joining. If you like what you see, please give it a like, share it, comment, emoji, or if something resonated with you, or are you a tarot reader? Was there something that you could see in the cards that I couldn't? We all interpret it all differently. Let's learn together. Thank you for joining my journey of the heart and soul. Sending many blessings and lots of love your way. And I'll see you on the other side.